Mongolia, land of the nomads. Here people still live like they did hundreds of years ago. In this series I'm riding through the remote far west region of this country on horseback. I do this as training for my horseback journey from Mexico to Canada next year. This episode we're riding from town to town, staying with different Kazakh families that reside in these parts. I'm learning more about their culture and traveling with horses, all while riding long distances through the beautiful but ice-cold wilderness. Welcome to part 2. Good morning. It's always a good feeling to wake up with the sounds of roaring yaks. Being able to brush your teeth is so nice. Oh. So yesterday Hadi and I came back from the winter camp and we spent one night here with the family. I saw Eleman again for the first time in more than 2 months. Hey. And if you guys remember, Eleman is the young man that took care of me last time I was here. So it was really nice seeing him again. I also brushed my teeth for the first time in 4 days. Oh, yeah, that feels good. So that was also very nice. And today Hadi and I are going on a new adventure, so let's go. The family is going to a wedding, so they're taking our stuff in the back of the car and bringing it to the village. I'm going to saddle my horse and then we're off again. Well, the horse is saddled, so we're ready to go. And off we go. But where are we going exactly? Well, today we're going to ride to town and spend the night with Hadi's family. The town is around 20 kilometers away. Then for tomorrow we decided to take a break to give the horses some rest. But the day after tomorrow we'll continue our journey to the next town, which is about another 30 kilometers or 20 miles away. Then the day after that we'll ride back to the camp of the family through the mountains, which is another 40 kilometers away. So we'll be covering quite some distance the coming days, which is good because I need to practice for America. This summer I was away from home for a month and now I'm away from home for another month. It already feels kind of long, and when I go to the United States I'll be riding for 6.5 months and I won't come home for 8 or 9 months. So I think that will be pretty heavy. Could you imagine that, not seeing your family and friends for 8 months? Fuck me. You know, the mountains are beautiful, but this flat terrain also has its advantages because it's a lot warmer, you can go a lot faster, it's a lot less tiring for the horses. I'm very happy that I came back for another 3 weeks because there is still so much that I'm learning, and it's also really good that Hadi is here because now there's actually someone to explain everything to me in English, because before I could only watch and they couldn't really explain anything to me. The temperature is so much more comfortable here. I'm actually sweating a little bit for the first time. The average Kazakh guy is a little shorter than I, so therefore my stirrups are a little short. So after a few hours in the saddle, my legs are getting kind of stiff. We've been riding for around 2.5 hours and the total ride should be around 5 hours, so we're halfway there. Ooh, we got some dark clouds over there. You can see the snow falling. Now you can see how much heavier the mountains are for the horses too, because in the mountains, where it's way colder by the way, they sweat after 10 minutes and they're breathing heavily, but here, even after trotting them, they're not sweating at all. We thought we would take a quick break to water the horses because you'd think that they'd be thirsty after 3 hours, but apparently they're not. Hello. We took a short break, now it's time to move on. There in the distance you can see the village that we need to go to. Yeah, we made it to the town. Took us about 4 hours. Oh, I've always wanted to ride into town on a horse. You don't know how cool this makes me feel. Real cowboy. Those are the mountains that we came from. They seem so close by from here. This is probably the smallest town in the world, yet still they have 2 pump stations right next to each other. The horses are very scared to walk over the asphalt. Yeah, we literally needed to dismount to drag them over. We're here. Assalamu alaikum. Oh yeah. That's luxurious. Horses are immediately taken care of. I was starving. Night. I'm on the Mongolian. What is this?
Mongolian Heritage website.
The Mongolian Heritage website. They posted that I was an assistant herder and that I stayed for 29 days and that I fell off my horse and busted my leg.
Broke my leg.
I'm actually gonna take a shower. Oh, this is gonna feel so good. Yeah, don't tell anyone, but I've been wearing the same pair of underpants for 12 days. But now I'm going to put on fresh ones. Oh, that is nice. Oh. Man, that was a great shower. Well, good night, everybody. Holly and I decided to take the day off tomorrow and give the horses a rest. So I'll see you guys the day after tomorrow. Good morning. Yesterday Holly and I took a day off and I took the time to do some edits and charge everything, and the horses had some rest, so that's great. Now we're having some breakfast and then we'll be off again. Alright, time to settle the horses. So. And we're on our way again. Today the weather is much better. It's nice and sunny, so that's great. We need to ride about 30 kilometers or 20 miles today. Will take around 6 hours probably. So we have a long ride ahead of us. Come. It is really nice that I could charge everything yesterday because we had a few days without any sun. And I was starting to run into some problems with being able to film everything and edit everything. But now everything is 100% charged again. You know, I'm being very well fed here. I think with all the meat and fat that I'm eating, I'm even putting on some weight. But it's just always, you know, meat with potato and carrot and some form of dough. So when I get home, I think I'm going to get Coca-Cola, some fries, maybe a fat juicy burger, vegan juicy burger. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. You know, I can just feel that my horse is well rested. He's keeping up a good pace and I don't have to work so hard to make him walk fast. Tomorrow we'll have to ride 35 kilometers and the day after tomorrow we'll ride 40 kilometers. So hopefully the weather stays like this for those long rides. Assalamu alaikum. I seem to have reached a bit of a dead end. Yeah, we need to go another way. We need to cross the river over here. The horses are kind of scared walking so close next to the river, so you really have to push them to make sure they move forward. Yeah, good boy. These rivers make this terrain kind of hard to navigate through because you have to either cross them or move around them. Shoot. Yes. Also when the terrain gets a little soggy or just different, then they become very hard to move. They suddenly just stop. There in the distance you can see the town that we need to go to. We've been riding a little over 4 hours and the town is there, so we almost made it. Yeah, we made it. The plan for tonight. The last time Holly was here was 27 years ago and we don't have a place to sleep yet, so we're going to knock on some doors of families that Holly knows from 27 years ago, and then we're going to try to find a place to sleep. Is it normal to just come right into town with your horse and ask people to sleep in their house, or is it a bit... Okay, it's normal. We're just tying our horses to some random pole and then we're going to find a shop to get something to drink. You know that Coke that I was talking about this morning? Well, this is Cola Borkari. Let's see how that tastes. Yeah, that's good. Alright, time to find a place to sleep. Okay, we just hitched the horses. I think Hadi got us a place to sleep. So the head of this household is a man that you know from 27 years ago. Yeah.
We studied in the same school, same class.
Ah, okay. Must be so crazy to see him again after almost 30 years.
Still dreaming.
We're going to play a game of chess, so wish me luck. It's going well for me, guys. Now I'm going to play against a professional. Now we're going to play another game, something with bones. Whoa, this is what you call a feast. We're getting fermented horse milk, which is horse milk that is fermented, so there's a little alcohol in it, but it's like a special drink, so we're being very well treated tonight. Preparation to go. Yesterday was a very pleasant evening. We played a lot of games and we ate a large meal together, so it was just very nice. And today we have to ride 35 kilometers, or what's that, 22 miles, I guess. So let's get going. I've been wearing these 3 t-shirts for 2 weeks now, and they're starting to smell so bad. The horses are already settled. Hey, bye-bye! Oh, today is much colder. Yeah, we need to go pretty far, so to make sure it doesn't take ages, we're going to switch a little bit between trotting and walking. I should have put on my warm hat today because my ears are freezing off. You see that mountain over there in the middle? That's where we need to go to. And there we're going up in the mountains a bit, I believe, and there should be a village. Here too they have problems with the climate change, because all this dry grey stuff that you see around me should be grass, but the summers are getting drier and warmer, so less grass is growing. So life for the herders is getting harder. My hand is freezing. Even if I take my glove off for a few moments to film something, it already hurts. Whoa, shit! There's a small tornado over there. Whoa, it's pretty cool. Oh, this wind is so cold. I'm freezing my ass off up on this horse. Like I said, we're switching a little bit between trot and walking today, because otherwise it will take ages to get there. You know where I was a couple of weeks ago? In Greece, on a catamaran, lying in the sun, diving off the boat. And then Haldi sent me this video, and now I'm here in the freezing cold in Mongolia. You gotta experience it all, right? The horses know that those mountains are their home, and that the rest of the herd is there, so they keep trying to move that way. The wind has lied down a bit, and now the sun is getting on our side, so it's getting a little more comfortable. Look, that is where we come from. We just escaped the snow. My lips are getting so cold that it's hard to talk normally. After a while they just become so stiff. And where does the village lie that we need to go to? We're now very close to the mountains, and the village is supposed to be behind those low mountains over there. In the winter it gets down to -40 here. Can you imagine how that must feel? I'm so freaking cold. My hands don't work anymore. My lips don't work anymore. My whole body is just frozen. So we're going to lead them for a little bit. Walk them to the river so I can warm up. Oh man. Whoa, I just watched back that footage and it seems like I'm crying. My eyes are all red and teary, but that's not the case. I'm just very, very cold. Not even high up in the mountains did I feel like this. But here, just the whole day in this flat area, the wind on your body, and there's no shelter. You just cool down so much. We thought we'd let the horses drink something in the river. Well, it's frozen solid. Haldi gave me his hat, so that already feels a lot better. But still, a hot cup of chocolate milk wouldn't be so bad right now. And are you even a little cold? Compared to Haldi, I'm just a pussy. When there's ice on the side of the river, the horses are very reluctant to cross, so now we're trying to find a good place for us to cross the river. The wind is now pretty much gone, so I'm starting to feel somewhat normal again. Have you ever reached a point in your life where your iPhone is too cold to charge? Well, I have. It says charging will resume when iPhone gets back to normal temperature. Well, at least the surroundings are beautiful. We've been riding through these mountains for quite some time now. In total, we've been riding for around 5.5 hours, so I think we should be there within an hour. We're going to stretch the legs a little bit. I think my horse is getting a little bit tired because he isn't walking so fast anymore. Well, this is it. We fought hard today. My whole body was frozen, but after 6.5 hours, we're finally here. And what was the last time that you were here?
Something 25.
The man that we stayed with yesterday called the man that we're going to stay with tonight. And Haldi thinks this is the house that we're looking for. Oh, this is what I've been looking forward to the whole day. Oh, that's nice. Haldi and I are going to the shop because we showed up empty-handed and that's never good. So we're going to get some sweets. Oh, that's nice. After very careful consideration, this is what we're going to bring. Surviving in the Mongolian wilderness, my bottom. This is a luxurious house, man. I feel like I got hit with a hammer after today. So I'm gonna go to bed and I see you guys tomorrow. Our stuff is being picked up with the truck. The horses had some hay last night. And I hope they're well rested because they have a very long day ahead of them. And so have I. So I'm going to grab some breakfast. I just settled my horse and Haldi's settling his horse and then we're on our way again. Hey, bye-bye! Today we need to ride 35 k's to Seilar Spring Camp and there we'll spend the night, and then next day we're going back to the autumn camp again where the family is staying. I hope today I won't be as cold as yesterday because that was not pleasant, but yeah, I guess we'll see. Okay, I feel a lot less cold today because there is a lot less wind. Because yesterday it wasn't even that cold, it was only -4, -5. But what really cools you down is that wind on your body the whole day. I think it's better to ride in -10, -15 without any wind than to ride in -5 with hard wind. I've been a little bit stupid. I just took a pee and I put my gloves on. Ooh, tering. Sometimes these horses he got spooked by a plastic bag that was blown by the wind. But as I was saying, I went for a pee and I put my gloves on the ground and I forgot them. So now we need to ride back a little bit. I just picked up my gloves. Alright, now we can move on. Assalamu alaikum. Huh? Ooh. Yeah, I dropped my microphone in the water. Yeah, no way I'm going to find that. Okay, that one is definitely gone, but fortunately I got a second one, so it's not that big a problem. These horses are so tough. After crossing the river, their hairs are frozen. It's no problem for them. I think my horse is not really having his day today. He is very skittish and he already stumbled a few times and he already got spooked a few times. We need to go pretty far today and we left kind of late, around 12:30. So we're going to trot a little bit to make up for some lost time because otherwise we won't make it before dark. The sun is almost going down behind the mountains, so I switched to my warmer hat. I know It doesn't look as cool as my cowboy hat, but yeah, it feels a lot better. We trotted pretty much the whole way today because, as I said, we left pretty late and we got a lot of ground to cover and the sun is already pretty low, but we keep up a good pace, so I think we'll make it in time. I must say, trotting for hours on end, it goes fast. You're able to cover a lot of ground, but after a while it starts to kind of hurt your butt. Yeah, he definitely knows that we're going into the direction of home, because all day he's been going so fast, and right now I'm not even steering or anything. He just finds his own way. He just knows exactly where we need to go. My butt is hurting a little bit and Holly's feet are getting a bit cold, so we're going to lead them and stretch the legs. We've been riding now for 5 hours and we've been mostly trotting, so I think it cannot be far anymore. Yeah, I stayed at this camp before, so I should know where it is. But you know how good my guiding skills are. But I believe it's somewhere here. I think it is those houses over there, because it was close to the mountains. It's getting dark now, so if I can't remember where the camp is, we're gonna have kind of a problem. But I still think it's that camp right in front of us. So everything should be good. But if it's not the camp, then yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. That's it, we made it. And we found it. That behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the camp. But all our stuff was brought to Ulanghus, that village that we were a few days ago. So there's nothing there for us. So we decided to keep going to the next family and they'll have dinner for us and a warm place to sleep. So we're not done yet. Yeah, so instead of making a fire ourselves and waiting for the whole house to warm up, we're just gonna go to the next family. And also, I don't even think we have any food with us. We're going to hitch the horses over here at this pole. And do you know who these people are? No. Okay, we're just going to knock on the door of a random house to see if we can get dinner. We're not even knocking, we're just going inside. Okay. I'm not really sure what is happening right now, but I'm just following along for the ride. Now we're going into a different house. And what about sleeping? Will we sleep here too? So just because we are two travelers out in the dark, we can walk into somebody's house and get a warm meal and a place to sleep. And that's actually pretty normal to do here, because the herders themselves also get stuck in the dark sometimes, or in the cold when they are looking for their animals, for example. So that's how hospitable the people in this country are. You can just walk in somewhere and get food and a place to sleep. It's amazing. I still think it's so cool that we're just getting this from people that we don't know. People are so hospitable here. It was a very long day. We were in saddle for, I think, 6.5 hours, and we were trotting almost the whole way. So I'm very tired right now. I have my own room, so that's great. And I wish you a good night. Sleep well. Well, that was the second part of my adventure in the Mongolian wilderness. Tomorrow we're moving back to the camp of the family, and there we'll stay for a couple of days. Then we're moving high up in the mountains again. That episode is coming to you next week, so see you then.